Okay, next we have from Christine. What is your vision? What kind of AI related skills nowadays should every educator and student learn?
Yeah, I think for me, a really good skill to try and hone is to try and get the AI not to answer immediately and to try and like just work through it a little bit in more detail. So really flipping it on its head and getting the AI to interview you is a really good technique that I mentioned earlier, but just trying to have a little bit more control over the output. And it's something that you pick up on. It's just younger people that use AI do this almost naturally. They will try and like craft and direct it, whereas you see older people, they'll want to like what's called like one shot. So they'll expect to be able to add the least amount of detail in at the top, just a one-liner, and expect the whole world to come out the other end. Actually, you need to add a lot more information in if you want to get a good output. So if you sort of learn and hone that skill, it's yeah, I mean, you get out what you put in. And I'm not going to say the phrase that I usually use for that, but yeah, just really like put all the information that you can into the tool.
Brilliant. Yeah, I've definitely found upskilling in the prompt area has been a massive game changer, both in personal and work life. So,
Yeah, that's it.
um,
Sorry,
no, no,
that
go
is
ahead.
it's a really good point because prompt engineering, which in its most basic terms is like how you write and engage with the responses back from AI. And I think writing a good prompt initially and understanding how to get more out of the answers is a really important part of the process. So yeah, that academy again has a good example of prompt engineering and advanced prompt engineering. It's not specific to OpenAI; it applies to most of the tools. So yeah, I think that's worth looking into because that is people expect to use AI like chatbots as if it was Google search, and it is a completely different mechanism of interacting with information.
Yeah, I've seen someone in the comments just mention they have a policy of having students share the input and prompt along with the answer. I think that's fantastic because then other people can learn from that prompt. So I think that's amazing.
That's fast becoming the norm, I think, which is amazing. I can't wait to see more. I learn a lot about prompting, I guess.
I mean, we share prompts all the time, Josh, on the engineering side. So yeah, it happens, and definitely worth encouraging.
Which is from Ariana, which is where do you believe the future of AI is in education? We see it becoming more and more encouraged in the workplace for optimizing time and resources. So, what kind of ways can we expect it to be implemented ethically into education?
I can see it acting as almost like a personal tutor that can cater to each individual student's learning style. I think I could see a future where it obviously takes the burden of note taking, which is one area, but I think it because everyone does learn differently and they all need different kinds of input, like an AI has infinite time to give to those students and help them in those ways. So yeah, I can only see it being a really good thing.
Yeah, I think in a similar, I think knowledge management is a super interesting space. I think it's really hard. Everyone has a different way of organizing their life and their thoughts, and I think this is one area that we could see a real explosion with our tooling that assists that organization and assists how you see all that information without really replacing the thirst for understanding it and the thirst for how you want to how you want to act on that information. So that's an area I'm really excited to see sort of develop. But I've seen in the news, OpenAI and Microsoft are looking at how you can get AI more embedded in K-12, and there's other different sort of initiatives trying to embed it more as part of the core tool set for different institutions. And I do think that's exciting because I think that level of support and innovation. Um, I'm just thinking back to when I was at school. If we had some of these tools, it would have just really changed what learning meant to me and what I was capable of because I struggle with some of these areas too, and I think some of it really does level up the playing field and provide that support to learners, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like feeling stupid for putting your hand up because you missed something, so you just ignore it, and then you never end up learning it, do you? Whereas,
Mm.
hopefully today, students are more empowered to sort of go and find that stuff out. Because I think there was a point like through primary school and like the internet wasn't really a thing, and yeah, it's just so exciting to see that shift where it's sort of you've got the entire world's knowledge in your pocket, and it's absolutely incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, you're like, what? I've got the transcript, I've got the chapter. It's sort of summarised what I missed, and I can start to dig into that subject more and understand. Okay, do I agree with that? Have I got gaps in my knowledge? Yeah, really exciting.
Super exciting. Plagiarism's a concern around AI research and sources. I don't know if you guys will know this off the top of your head, but is there a fact checker other than manually that can verify AI generated facts and their sources?
For me, Perplexity seems to do the best job at this. It does actually go off and do live searches and is quite good at picking out things that can't be verified. It's not 100% bulletproof, but it is probably the best option at the moment, I think.
Yeah, I think Perplexity, for those that aren't aware of it, Perplexity.ai is one of the early sort of AI giants in this space. They're all constantly fighting for each other for how how efficient and effective they are with these models they're releasing. And there's a point where Perplexity was definitely dominating on deep research, which is essentially you give it something to look into or a fact to try and prove or disprove, and it'll do, it'll search, 30, 40 different sources, it'll cite the sources. You can then look into that yourself and see if you agree with that. But it just surfaces a lot of those fact-checking mechanisms in a much more convenient way. So that probably isn't a tool that's really helpful for a large amount of submissions or pieces of work to go through. But I think for individual pieces, it's really helpful.
Right. The top tip from Kimberly here: tell AI you want to fact check its sources. It seems to cut the garbage or false information out. So
yeah, be super direct with it. Like just
yeah.
you
You can be very direct with it. You can be polite and direct at the same time.